This is a couples Q&A bonus video. Check it out.
Hi, Favorite family. My name is Clarice, and I'm the owner of Favorite Stationery. So today I have a special guest, my husband, Michael. Thank you for being here, because I know this is a struggle for you, and I appreciate it.
My schedule was so busy on this day.
Oh my God. but we made it, okay? So it was a few things I wanted to say beforehand. So first of all, I want to pray for the families who lost their loved ones today in New Orleans. I really haven't been keeping up with much of what's going on, but I did hear that people did lose their lives during the celebration. And so I just want to pray for the families. And yeah. All right. The next thing, please y'all grab your planner journal combos. I will put the link down below. This is my favorite planner journal combo. And what else? Happy New Year. Okay, so Michael has me off, okay? Because usually I like to do stuff during the day. And it is 7:16 at night. So I have been telling him, well, actually we have been talking about this for a few weeks. And yeah, so I think yesterday we said, okay, we were gonna do it. And yeah, and I'll let you off the hook. All right, so what I did was, I'm hot now. Hold on. I'm gonna have to cut this up so bad. You have anything you want to say? Hold on, I'm hot. Okay, so I went on to ChatGPT and I asked it to give us some questions about our relationship. So we have been together for 2 decades, almost 20 years. It will be 19 in March. So, yay for us. Yeah. So I went on to ChatGPT and I wanted to get some questions that I really didn't prepare. I wanted to get some questions that I really didn't prepare for. So I went on to ChatGPT and it gave us some questions to answer, and I want to share with y'all. So here we go. All right. So the first question is, how did you meet? You want me to answer it?
We met in high school. We met in a class, geometry class.
Miss Effington.
Yeah, a geometry class in high school.
Child, Miss Effington is on my list. So I don't know if you remember. I remember. We were sitting in class one day, and she just called me out. You remember that?
That was a long time ago.
I remember. That stuck with me. Yeah, she like, I was sitting there, I don't know what I was doing, what I was looking at or whatever. And I think like we were in the middle of a lesson, like she was teaching, and she looked at me. I'm not making this up. She looked at me and she was like, what's wrong with you? You always look so mad. Like literally in the middle of the class. And I was just like, where did that come from?
Yeah, I probably don't remember. I was, me as a student wasn't the best. I was too busy worried about, all right, I'm going to get through this. Let me finagle my way through this.
Yes, ma'am. She called me out in the middle of and you know I was a quiet student. So I might have had a screw face on that day. Who knows? But, you know, teenagers, you got a lot going on. Like, you never know where a child's mind could be or what's going on with them at home or anything like that. And I just thought that was weird. I have a little better understanding of it now, because it's like the story of my life. But yeah, I just thought that was weird for a grown woman to just like point me out like that. And I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't a bad student as far as manners, because the work. But yeah, as far as manners, I was always very well mannered, and I just remember her calling me out that day. And yeah, but anyways, how did we meet? So we met in geometry. Yeah, in Miss Effington's class.
Yeah, she got up. I was sitting in the back, and she asked me because she had my seat. So I got up.
I did.
For the remainder of the year, she played in my hair.
Was that like the first day?
Yes.
Yeah. I was not doing my work. Yeah, but that's how we met. Okay, let's see. What was your first impression of each other?
I thought she was beautiful. We were teenagers, of course, so
yeah,
in high school, but oh, she was pretty.
Thank you. My first impression of you is, I don't know. I thought you were a nice guy. You said that when you asked me out, that I was like, what did I say when you asked me out?
I don't remember.
You said that I was like, I'm black, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't remember saying that, but you always say that I said that. But yeah, so Michael is biracial.
What?
I do not. Tell him about your racial mix.
I'm biracial.
I can't.
My father is white, my mother's black. Yeah.
Do we want to add more to that or go to the next question?
What do you want to add?
I don't know.
I mean, it was a little non-traditional when I was growing up because most biracial kids, when I was growing up, had a black father and a white mother.
Mm-hmm.
But so much so that even my therapist today, when I start talking about my parents, just assumes that my father is black and my mother's white.
Have you told him yet?
Nah. I don't want to.
You don't want to ruin it for him?
Let him.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's see. I feel like it's something we should add on, but my brain can't think. Nothing. Okay. It says, what was your first date or early moments together like? Our first date. This was 13 minutes already.
Yeah, this was high school, so first date was Applebee's. It was.
Applebee's?
Yeah, it was Applebee's. It's now a IHOP, but it was Applebee's at the time, and it was Applebee's, and then a movie.
What we go see?
Drumline. Drumline. That's how long ago it was. Drumline
with Nick Cannon.
With Nick Cannon. That was.
It
was good times.
Yeah. It wasn't the best movie to see because, like, the whole time the drum was beating and it was just like whatever.
Yeah, in theaters you had a headache.
Yeah.
After.
Yeah.
That, so.
Okay. What was your first date or early moments together like? Describe the nerves and excitement. Oh, I should have. The nerves and excitement and connection that was made. Were you nervous to date me?
No, the nerves happened. So that was our first official date. The first thing that I did was I asked her, and we were in high school, and I was like, let me take you home. Let me drop you off at home. She wasn't driving at the time. I was driving. I was like, let me drive you home. Let me drop you off. I stood outside of the parking lot waiting. She got on the bus and left me. I stood out there for 15, 20 minutes. And I was playing football, but we didn't have practice. So I was just like, yeah, I'll take you home. And all the football players were like, why are you standing here? Like, what's going on? What you waiting on? Don't worry about it. And the next day, I was like, what happened? I ain't know you. It was like, well, you could have just told me. Because I could have just left and been like, you could have just said no.
I could have. I was such a people pleaser.
I was 16, so this, 16, 17 years old. This wasn't, your brain ain't fully formed at this age.
Yeah, I could have told you that I wasn't quite comfortable with it yet. Because I didn't really know you like that. So I was like, I think I should get on the bus and go home. So the question is, what has been one of the most transformative moments in your relationship? Describe a moment when you both grew in ways you didn't expect.
The birth of our first child.
Yes.
Probably the commitment to having our first child.
Yeah.
Because the birth was, we were already in the thick of it. But we actually, at 18, 19 years old, pregnant, and we're like, do we get a, and we had said in a.
Hold on. I was 21 when I had her, so we had to be like 20.
Okay, so
And you were 21.
at 20, at 19, 20 years old, it takes 9 months. So
Okay. I'll let you have it.
21 years old. We had set a date to have.
We did.
And God willing, or God's favor over us, we decided not to go through with it.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, we just had the biggest blessing of our lives come into our lives. And, she's been that for 18 years now. She's just been an absolute blessing to have our daughter that, at 20 years old, we're in college, but we're kind of playing around in college, not really trying to finish college. And
we really, sorry, you don't know that too. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We really didn't have direction at that point in our lives. Like, I think both sets of our parents were like kind of living their own lives. And we were just kind of like, oh, we're finished with school now, or high school. And I guess we have to figure out something to do. But it wasn't like anything planned, or, we really didn't have a good direction, career-wise, or, anything really to go. It was like sink or swim. And we swam.
Yeah. First apartment, when we first moved out, we had a mattress, no box spring, no rails on the floor. We didn't have any furniture in the living room. We didn't have any a kitchen table or anything. We were
just a mattress.
Yeah, we were just really preparing for her to come. We were about to have the baby shower and getting prepared for her. So we started with nothing.
I think I should say, though, as far as my daughter, like, being the thing that pushed us forward, I think that was the question. The most transformative. It just clicked for me. Like, I had her and I was just like, I don't know what to do with you, but I'm gonna figure it out. Like, I didn't really have experience with, other than my cousin, who I never really kept by myself or anything like that. I didn't really have experience with babies at all. Did you? You had a little bit more. He actually had more than me.
My older sister, she used to work in like daycares, like La Petite and stuff like that. And she met a little girl there, and her mother was kind of in and out of her life and would drop. I mean, my sister would bring this child home with her, not from that school, but when they built a relationship, she met the lady, and the lady kind of liked my sister, and my sister would babysit her for days on end, and she would annoy the mess out of me. This was when I was 14, 15, 16 years old, and my sister was 17, 18, 19, and it was just a different situation. But anyway, long story short, my parents became essentially the godparents for this little girl. And we had her a lot throughout my teenage years in our household. So I got to see what, it wasn't a baby. I mean, she was young. Yeah,
she was still in diapers, right?
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
But as for me, like, I think my friend's mom may have given me a book for the baby. It's that yellow book. I think it's Baby's First Years or something like that. That I never read. I might have peeped in on it a couple of times, but all of the care for Aaliyah was basically like a natural instinct type thing. I just decided I was going to give it my all. Like, I really didn't have much direction in much else or passion or anything like that. So I was just like, you know what, this right here, I got. And so I've tried my best. She's come out to be really
better than we could ever imagine.
She is that girl. My daughter is that girl.
Yeah, when you think about how most people make the most mistakes with their first child, not knowing, not having, and for her to be as independent and caring and understanding and thoughtful and gracious as she's been throughout her life, it is a testament to God and how much favor He has had on us and her in particular. And it's unbelievable. So I'm so grateful and thankful for that decision that, we made 19 years ago,
Yeah.
18, 19 years ago, that has just completely changed our life for the better.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. What was the first milestone in your relationship? A trip, a move, a shared goal achieved? What made it so significant? I feel like that falls into what we already talked about, right? Unless it's something else, because we didn't really like our goal was to make it with limited resources.
Yeah, I keep going back. I keep harping on the age because of how hard that is.
Yeah.
At 20, 21, and both of us are in college, but neither one of us are close to graduating.
Mm.
And I'm working at FedEx at night while going to school, and she's worked at a jewelry store.
Random jobs.
Yeah, and
jobs you get when you don't have a degree, and entry level random jobs.
Yeah, and when we first moved out, the storm that hit you of, all right, this is real life. Bills are real, food is real, all of this is real. And at one point I was working 3 jobs at once. I worked for the airport, FedEx, and then I delivered furniture during the day, and it just it was a hard time.
Yeah.
I don't remember sleeping much, but it was what we did.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I was just thinking, never mind, I'll talk about that later. You want to add something else?
Oh.
Okay. So it says, how has your relationship changed over the years? Talk about the deepening of trust, communication, and understanding.
I think from excuse me, the respect part that we've always had, like we've always been in a relationship and a marriage with mutual respect for the other human being, not calling anyone outside of their name,
No.
not, disrespecting anyone to a point of no return. So,
because I'll remember. And you will too. Like, I ain't gonna just put it on me. You will, think about that. Think about that, because we ain't gonna act like it's just the regular old Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah, seeing some of the recent movies we've seen, and I'm talking about how to fight fair in a marriage, and while we didn't do that, we also didn't fight unfairly. Like, I don't think, we just had mishaps and arguments, and they got heated to the point where we had to step away from each other for a moment in time, for an hour or so. To me in particular, I grew up in a household where my father was hot-headed. He got mad, and I mean, we were literally at dinner last night and talking about how my dad and my mom got in an argument one time, and he just got up and started walking home, and this was a good 8 miles from his house, and my mother's calling me asking me like, I don't know where your dad is. Long story short, this is the kind of the thing that I grew up under, and I became that. I was extremely hot-headed, and I remember, I guess you can take it out if you don't want it in there, but I remember like getting to the point where I was so mad that we had a picture on the wall. We were arguing, and I punched the wall and punched through the picture and through the drywall. And then I'm balling my fist up, and I could see my bones because the glass had cut my skin all the way open. So I'm standing in Walmart at 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning with my hand wrapped fully bloody, trying to, because we didn't have enough money for me to really go to a doctor. Like, we didn't really have help. We had health insurance, I know, for her and the kids, because we had just had Aaliyah. Mm-hmm. But for me, it wasn't nothing there, and I probably wasn't going to go that way. But I remember sitting there in Walmart with my hand, and I was just like, at that point, it was a turning point for me. Like, there's got to be a better way to handle this. Like, hitting the wall and knocking holes in the wall, because I would never and have never put my hands on her, but my father, what I saw when he got mad, that's what he did. He would knock a hole in the wall. Yeah, he wouldn't touch a button. I've never seen a physical abuse
out there.
But he would punch a hole in the wall, and that became my reality. That's what I thought that's the way I thought I was supposed to handle it. That was a moment in time where I was just like, all right, we gotta, and telling myself, I've got to figure out a better way to handle this.
Yeah. You think we have good communication?
We have communication.
Depending on what day it is.
Yeah. Most days it's my fault.
Uh,
When you get married, you understand
for me, I feel like when I am feeling some type of way, I think about how I really feel and what I want to say, and then I tell you, right?
that. Yeah,
I tell you a lot of things.
a lot.
I can't. Okay, Sean, we probably ain't gonna make it through this. Oh, it's just two. Okay.
Did you skip one?
It's just two pages. There's something on the back of this one. Okay, what has been the biggest challenge you faced as a couple? How did you both overcome it, and what did it teach you about each other? Hmm. I mean, you're talking about almost 20 years here.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we were in a recession at one point in our marriage.
mm-hmm.
And, that was pretty difficult to, you know, we were only a household of three, but that was a challenge.
Yeah.
Financially, the ups and downs, those are always difficult, for me at least, because of the provider in me and wanting to take care of my family. So when things financially aren't the best, it's always a little bit tougher on me to handle it. So
I'm sorry. I'm so tired. Okay, I think we're just gonna move on, right? Unless you want to add something else. Okay. How do you keep your relationship yeah. How do you keep your relationship strong through life's changes?
faith. Listen, if you're going to get married, you have to understand that there's probably going to be just as many downs as there are ups. And navigating through the fact that downs are a thing, she knows this, I relate everything to sports. And if you play sports, you're going to lose. You don't win every game. So that's just kind of a part of it, Building our relationship has been, especially here over the last year or two, with our newfound true walk into faith, has been a blessing. And what was the question? Because I feel like I'm mumbling now. Strong through life's challenges.
Yeah.
I would tell people faith. It starts with Jesus and ends with Jesus, because at the end of the day, unless you are blessed financially, that you don't have to worry about some of these things. Like there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be high points and low points, but you know, keeping your relationship strong by enjoying, even in the low moments, some of the blessings that come from that. You learn from these things. And for me, I feel like we've been blessed because neither one of us, I mean, she grew up in the church. I went to church every week, but we were the last one's in, first one's out. So, but I do feel like God has had his favor on our marriage, on our family this entire time. So,
yeah.
We're not perfect by any means, but I do think the keeping our relationship strong starts with our faith and our provider and our Lord and Savior.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like you said, the past couple of years we've taken our faith journey deeper. Another thing though is like I never had to question how he felt about me. Like that's a part of it. Like that's a part of keeping a relationship strong, in my opinion, because it's always been like, no matter what, we're going to deal with it. No matter what is going on, what we're facing, what's happening, we're together. And that's something I appreciate about you because, with me, all the stuff that we've been through, and it's been a lot of stuff, like almost 20 years, Like, it's never been like, oh, well, is he gonna stick around? Like, I've never had that thought. Like, even in some of the harder times over the, past couple of years, like, I've always known we about to navigate this together, and that matters. Like, if one person is iffy, how it's gonna be strong. Like, I've been in it. I was gonna do my part. Like, he ain't never had to worry about the kids. I got the kids, and everything else, he's like, I got it. Like, I never have to worry. So, yeah. So faith and, what's in your heart. And I guess that's part
God's
of faith.
favor.
Yeah.
I think that's because there's a lot of people that might not do that. And I think I personally believe, and even before we really dove into the faith part of our marriage over these, like I believed early on that like there's something that's like God has some type of favor over our family, because there were so many exits that either one of us could have taken. Could have easily said, "No, I'm not doing this. I don't." It'd just be easy, and we didn't.
Yeah.
We for some reason we stayed.
It was never an option. Yeah. Never an option. Okay, so we're on our last part. So here is the next question. What does family mean to you now, and how has it evolved over the years? Talk about the joy of having children or pets, building a home, and sharing life's milestones.
It means everything to me. Having my wife and my kids, and through God's grace and through my wife pushing me to speak with a therapist when I needed it, it's changed a lot of my thought process, because early on in our marriage, obviously when we first had our daughter, it was just, you're just a young adult with a child, this, that, and the other. Then we started preparing or talking about having another child, and we had our oldest son. And that's when it kind of started hitting me, like the way my parents raised me was more of, all right, let's get them till they're 18 and get them out of the house. And for me, that became the way that I lived. It was like, all right, do what I got to do until they're 18. That way they're out on their own, and this, that, and the other. And it's completely changed. If they want to stay with me until they're 45, let's do it. Let's do it, especially my daughter. I don't want her. My son is too, but I would, obviously there's going to be concessions if that's the case, but I want them to be happy, healthy adults when they do decide to leave. And that has been the biggest thing for me, is wanting them to be willing to leave. Not like I know I was, and I'm sure she was, when it was just like, we gotta get out of here. Like, if we gotta live in this truck, this Isuzu rodeo, if we gotta live in this whatever it might be.
I don't want to cut you off. I want you to come back to that. There was a part where I wanted you to tell them about your accident with the truck.
Yeah.
And the
was
purpose.
Born?
No, she wasn't here yet. The reason for that is because we had a few. Well, you did have the accident, and for me, I've had a couple of almost accidents, and I don't know, something within me like just tells me that I'm here because I have this purpose. He wanted me to be here throughout all of it. Because I told you about the time I sat at the light, and I don't know where my head was, but the car beside me moved, but it didn't go anywhere. But in my head, it moved. It like it was going, and it was time for us to go. And so I'm going, and I look back, and the car just still there at the light. And then I also look back, and there's this 18-wheeler that passes. So I was like, oh my goodness, I could have left up out of here at that moment, but God protected me through that because I had a purpose to be here right now.
Yeah.
Talking to y'all. It was a storm that we had here in Memphis. Somehow, like, it was like a tornado. It blew the windows out of St. Francis. Do you remember that?
I know.
But anyways, and I was at work, working as a medical assistant, and somehow, I don't know why I got out of the car. I was on my lunch break, and I was it was just so bad out, and I was like, okay, let me go into this building right here, which was not my work building, but I was parked by this salon. So I said, let me go in here to this salon. And when I got out, the wind was blowing. Like it could have blown me away. It took my umbrella. My hair had just got my hair done. You remember me talking about this? I had just got my hair done like the day before, and I was drenched wet. And I think I was pregnant at that time too with Mason. Yeah. So like it just, you look back on things and you're like, ooh, I could have been gone up out of here. But listen, you're not gonna go until he's ready for you to go. So, tell me about your car. I went way off, but go ahead.
Yeah, I was coming home from FedEx. I was working at night, and I was dehydrated, and I don't know what happened, but I apparently blacked out at the wheel, and I was crossing an overpass, and the guardrails. You know, I'm on the interstate. I'm probably going 75, 80 miles per hour. And all I know is I blacked out. When I woke up, the truck was stopped. It was pitch black outside, and I remember a guy running, and he was going to grab like one of the little cones to place it over there so that, you know, nobody would run into my car. But I remember after, obviously, I walked away from this. There was no injuries, wasn't wearing a seatbelt, nothing. And I remember when I went back and looked at it and spoke to the officer, there was about a 50-foot drop after those guardrails. And they were like, had the guardrails not been there, I went over there without my seatbelt, I clearly would have died. And it was just like, that was God. That couldn't have been anybody but God, because to black out at the wheel, to hit that guardrail going 75, 80 miles per hour in the middle of night. So it clearly knocked all the lights out of my car. There were no, you know, lights on this interstate at the time and on this little overpass. So, you know, nobody ran into me afterwards. Like, it was just like, it was God's favor.
Yeah.
And this was before we had got pregnant with our first child. So he clearly had something for us.
Yeah.
And I think we both kind of got to the point that it was like he wanted us to raise a family. He wanted us to build, you know, and come into some of the things that we're coming into now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's taken, I know me in particular, much longer to adjust to it because I'm stubborn, but
okay. Did I read this? What does family mean to you now? And I just read that, y'all. Okay. What are some of your favorite traditions or memories as a family?
I'll let you answer.
Favorite traditions. Let's say Halloween, although we didn't do it this year.
But we went to his thing at school.
What?
You want to get the pumpkin?
Oh yeah, we did.
We went to his school at a pumpkin patch. Go ahead.
Yeah. We did several like activities around that time, but yeah. But we usually get a pumpkin and we carve it. So we started that off with Aaliyah, and we've just kept going. So, you know, with her and the boys, they'll, you know, pick out a design and just get to carving. So that's a tradition of ours.
I think another one that, I'm not trying to cut you off, but, and maybe everybody does it, but I know my parents, when we went to church, we would always go out to eat afterwards. And that's kind of something that if we ever go to church, when we do, we go out as a family and eat. And it's kind of like a, you know, a tradition to go sit down and eat after church. Yeah. That's what we all do. So
yeah. We got to wrap it up because they've been a bus in here. Okay. What are the most important lessons you want to pass down to your children or loved ones? What values do you both want to instill?
Go ahead.
I tell my kids all the time that they are leaders. Like, the following stuff we don't do. Like, be brave and strong enough to be yourself, to stand out, to stand up for your convictions. Don't go along with stuff just because everybody else doing it. We don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd piggyback on that and say the same thing. And,
yeah.
You know, just to show your love and compassion in this world. You know, to be able to, when things aren't going right, when things are going right, you know, to always understand that, like,
there's somebody at the door.
Oh,
okay.
To understand that the tomorrow's a new day. You know, you can have a bad hour, you can have a bad day, you know, but continue to there's nothing in this world that should be bigger than what it is. Like I would hope that they understand that if they need anything, if they need someone to talk to, if they need someone to scream at, to cry with, I'm there. And if I'm not there, I'll help you find someone that will be.
Yeah.
That this world is bigger than the problems and the things that we go through. So.
Yeah. Okay. How do you support each other in your individual growth?
I wrap my wife's books and I make sure that I like all her videos, and I try.
You even be commenting sometimes.
Yeah, I try my best to, no matter what she's doing, whether it be the home daycare, or her deciding to go back to work, or her deciding that she wants to try something new, or her telling me that I need to change. Like it's always been like, all right. Like I said, I'm stubborn.
Oh, baby.
Sometimes it takes me a little while to come around, but I come around.
Yeah, you do come around with a lot, just about everything that I request. You do it on your time.
If I'm going to get fired, I might as well get fired doing it my way.
You do it on your time, but you do it. I can count on you. And I would think that me like kind of pushing you a little bit, although it's annoying, I'm sure, is like it's my form of support to you. Like I'm always telling you that I see this great person in you. First of all, you're already a great person, but I see you doing so much more and all of these things. And so I'm just proud of where you are because I know you're going somewhere great. Did we answer that?
The individual growth, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. What are your hopes for the future together?
My hope would be that my children could grow into great adults that have a fulfilling life, whether it be a career or a family or anything, and that my wife and I can enjoy being older grandparents or older parents that get to see things throughout this world, but also together experience new things, but also still experience our children, even when they're adults, when they're fully grown and have their own families or are doing what they're doing, to always be able to support. That's for me.
Okay. Same here. Since we're taking so long, let's go to the next thing. Unless you want me to say something else. Okay. For the future, I want us to thrive, and I know we are going to because we've been putting in a lot of work. Me sitting here right now is taking everything because I'm sleepy, I'm tired. Okay, so it's gonna pay off, and I pray that over time we just continue to get closer with God and just more patient, more loving, and just being here for each other, the kids, everything you see. Okay, so how have your roles as partners evolved over time?
How has our roles as partners evolved over time? I think just learning some of the nuances of each other and some of the things that I didn't know that she knows, or some of the things that she doesn't know that I don't, or vice versa. I got lost in that.
Okay, we get it. We get it, babe.
That part.
I told you.
It would have been the same for me.
It would not. Well, in the morning. Because I am so done. What was the question? How have we? How have your roles as partners evolved over time? How have we evolved over time? What was your answer?
I guess just with different stages in life, like when we started out, I was working a lot, and you were taking care of Aaliyah, and you started to go back to work, and then you transitioned into working from home, and then, you transitioned to just, stay at home.
So what you're saying is we just move with each other, because we are
Yeah.
like, for me, career wise, like career or no career, I'm not gonna do myself like that, but like it all depends. I am moving, so you have supported me throughout the years, no matter what. Okay, babe, this what you're doing for now? All right, so I got you, because I'm still gonna be over here doing this, and what I do, you know, helps in my way with the family.
Yeah, because I mean, there's times I work all the time and she's at home, but also don't have to worry about setting dentist appointments for the kids. I still have to take them sometimes, but I don't have to worry about setting them and worrying about getting the ins and outs of the daily life for a family to maneuver, like making sure our
I got it.
Is set, everything like that. You know, it's just do my part and help out with her part, and vice versa.
Yeah, and it changes. Like, we're not. Listen, what we're good at is what we go with. We're not on this. He does this. She does.
Yeah.
She has to, like. He's never required for me to really do anything. Like, I've gone with what was natural to me. It's never been a stern anything, and I think it works for us.
I mean, that's the point, I think, of any relationship is what works for us ain't gonna work for y'all. What works for y'all ain't gonna work for everybody. Is interchangeable. Everybody has a different personality. There's no set thing on this is what a man has to be, this is what a woman has to be. Like, you can throw that in the trash.
Yeah. Garbage.
Yeah, just figure out your rhythm, and whatever your rhythm is, who cares what the world is?
Yeah, because I sure don't. I'm sorry. Getting the older I get, like, I'm doing what's best for me, and I don't talk as much about it. Like, I don't have to explain the decisions I make. As long as you're not harming anyone or anything like that, like, I'm doing what's best for me, and that's it. You got a problem with it, that's your problem. Okay, so last question, child. What does it mean to be home together?
Freedom.
Come on now.
Freedom until I'm asked to do something.
And what?
It's freedom, because I mean, home is where the heart is. And listen, if I ain't got home, I ain't got nothing. So.
Oh, same here. Like, we get into our flow. Usually when he comes in from work, if I hadn't cooked, which is a lot of times,
and that's okay.
Yeah,
it is okay, ladies. Like, listen, you ain't cook, I cook. If I ain't cook, we go get some.
Right. Usually we gonna pick something up, but then I have those times where I get tired of fast food and I will cook, but I have to be in the mood. I'll go like a couple of weeks of cooking, and then because this week we've been eating out.
Oh, yeah.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, we'll eat, and then after that we relax together. Like, we're watching. What series are we watching now on Netflix?
I don't know what it's called.
Which is I think so.
Okay, yeah.
Which is probably not the best.
Listen, at the end of the day, find you something that can you and your spouse can be entertained by.
Yeah.
Listen, put your feet up there. Let me rub your feet.
Your foot rub, love them. What we just finished. We just watched the movie with the lady soldiers.
It's a hard name. It's like 888.
888 666.
Mafia.
We are newly saved.
We're from Memphis, so.
Oh God. It's something about a 888, child. I think it's 6888, whatever. But yeah, that was a good movie. And yeah, so we really Netflix and chill, but our chill is like going to bed. So yeah, that's something we're working on, is fitting in more time to spend time together other than like watching a show or movie together. We've been like grocery shopping together lately, just time for just me and him alone. So that's what we're trying to be more intentional with, and more dates, in 2025, a vacation hopefully in 2025.
More money.
Yeah, more money. Just
more
blessings, just totally, and we're grateful for all the blessings that we do have. Everybody is in good health. The kids are doing good in school. Everything's been going great for you at work. I've been getting into my creativity. And so we are blessed coming out of 2024. And so 2025, it's going to be good. I don't know if we said I think we said Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
He's tired. He's like, I'm over it now. Okay, favorite family. I hope you enjoyed us answering questions from ChatGPT. I thought that was really good. So try it if you're a couple, or if you just want to do it, just try it. I went on there and asked it to give me questions about, sharing our relationship with you all. And those were good questions. I think we clearly talked about a lot. So I hope you all enjoyed, and you want to send us out.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
2025.
All right, and I'll see you next time right here at Favorite Stationery. Goodbye.
Like and subscribe.